Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 355, a treatise on acupuncturation, of course, literally about acupuncture. The date is very important, the date of the creation of this work, in explaining one of the reasons why it's of interest. Link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books blogs. It's only 30 pages, so this is a short work. Here's why it's interesting to me. This work was released in the 1820s. The concept of sterilizing surgical materials using carbolic acid and then later other chemical compounds only comes about in the 1870s. And the idea of boiling instruments is the 1860s with Pasteur. So the idea of a sterile surgical environment being of relative import when you're pushing needles into a person did not exist when this work was around and wouldn't for another 50 years. And even then, of course, the methodology was more primitive than it became roughly in the middle of the 20th century. So here you have a text that's talking about patient anecdotes about being healed by taking needles that may have been in another person and not sterilized thereafter and having needles jabbed in them. And of course, they wouldn't have been as fine as today's needles because metallurgy wasn't as advanced. So it was probably a bit more on the painful side. So you got this patient with rheumatism, and I put the needle in next to the third rib, and they felt better, and clearly this is miraculous. Now, acupuncture works only in the sense that it is a placebo. It's the same as giving people a sugar pill or head-on applied directly to the forehead or any of these other things. It doesn't actually treat any underlying disease other than the psychosomatic. Thankfully, most problems that people ever have are psychosomatic. They're the result of stress, lack of sleep, lack of a proper lifestyle, worry, things like this, anger, their emotions. If you can bring those into balance, you can cure half of people most of the time just by tricking their mind into thinking they've been cured. That being said, acupuncture is fundamentally a pseudoscience. The whole idea of tweaking energy centers in the body using needles, scientifically speaking, has been thoroughly discredited. It's still done quite frequently among New Age hippies and among certain Asian practitioners, but it's useless. China keeps trying to sell more acupuncture needles by buying up ad space and saying, well, treat your headaches, treat your insomnia, but, it's nonsense. Anyway, this work is definitely of interest. It is technically occult. It's about an alternative medical procedure, and it's cautionary in form, I would say, as well. Keep in mind, the occult is the search for truth. They searched through acupuncture. Much like with hypnotism, they thought, wow, it can cure anything. Later on, it was realized that wasn't entirely the case. So again, link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon, second and third links to my books, blogs. If you are interested in the history of medicine, alternative medicine stuff, you'll definitely enjoy this work, albeit, again, it is fairly short. That's about all. Peace out.